you know, with these facts, you know what I'm saying, now added to the long list of formerly crazy conspiracy theory comes true. You know what I'm saying? The President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, Trumpy Bear, you know what I'm saying, is essentially, you know what I'm saying, in a colluded, in colluded, from, to me, is excluded from, you know what I'm saying, any criminal shit that they were talking about, Russian collusion, so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? You accuse a standing president of a crime, you chunked up the crime and framed him into the crime because you know for what that's it. In other words, it's the same thing like I said before. If you go into a room and somebody's laying there dead, and then they run in soon as you're in there, as soon as you're down there helping the person and everything, trying to help them, you get some of the blood on your hand and stuff and whatever, and you're trying to save the person, and they run in with all guns blazing and told, you know what I'm saying, and then arrest you because they want to have to investigate to find out whether or not did you commit the murder, this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be in jail. Period. You're going to be in jail until it is proven that you did not commit that crime. You see, even when they get the murder weapon, they still have to do the forensic on the murder weapon to prove that did you handle that weapon or not? Was that the weapon that you used to commit that crime? You see, this is the same thing they did to Trump. Now, what game is they truly playing is what we need to ask as intelligent people on planet Earth. You know, because it seems like a lot of people seem to be, you know, acting very crazy, you know, I see. In more ways than not. Acting completely out of their mind. And allowing this type of behavior in government that's supposed to be handling people's business, but instead enriching themselves and carrying on like little proud little nutcase children, and want to do anything they want to people according to them. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, we the big bad demon blood democracy Democrats. And we can kick your ass, we can come to your house and do this, and we can spy on you, and we can put a credit card in your hand with 666 on it, and so on and so on, and you ain't gonna do it. Because we got the black people, you know, helping us for years. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. You know, but when we look at this here, you know what I'm saying, we see where the President of the United States, you know what I'm saying, the conspiracies that come to the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, you know what I'm saying, to me should be excluded from any prosecution by virtue of the public mistrust in an obviously weaponized federal government. Even if prosecutors somehow manage to get a partisan jury to convict, the public will see it as well. They're full of garbage then, and they're full of garbage now. But like I said, the damage is what? Already done. This was the whole series of what they were trying to do. You know what I'm saying? We see a Mayor Q Ball, Greasy Head Adams, Mr. Sellout, you know what I'm saying, to decide on a homeless bill of rights that allows homeless encampment outside. That allows encampment outside. Oh yeah, it's all right to just let them sleep outside. Yeah, allow encampment outside rather than do something about your Luciferian blood-sucking asylum seeker plan. You know what I'm saying? Because you are definitely down with that bullshit. And you ain't fooling nobody. No. I don't know what made him think he was fooling somebody, you know what I mean? He ain't fooling nobody because the asylum seeker situation ain't no more. I wish somebody would come off my background. Look at it. In my background. You know what I'm saying? Asylum seeker You know what I'm saying? Bullshit that he's on is definitely some bullshit. Let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely some bullshit. You know? And he know it. Same with Maxine. Well, all this is no more than a bunch of demon Democrat bullshit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know what I mean? That's all it is. You know? We on the spy tip right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? We on a spy tip right now as we speak. You know? This type of mind frame that we have to deal with when it comes to these people in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? This is the mind frame in which they have. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. They think that they could just get away with and have been getting away with just anything they want to get away with. And let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? But now we know why. We see black people are supporting everything that they do. You know what I'm saying? And been doing it for years, selling their people out and going down the road with this demon mockery, democratic demon crap bull. You know what I'm saying? In many ways. In many ways. You know? We see it. We see it. You know? We see it. Look at the gap in there. That's a yeah, we see it. But we see Mark Cuban say Elon Musk's Twitter plans goes deeper than any realize. You know what I'm saying? But we see Mark Cuban believe that Elon Musk may have, you know, ulterior motives when it comes to running Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Billionaire, he's spying probably right now along with the rest of it. But we see so-called billionaire tycoon. How do we become a tycoon in our country? You know what I'm saying? Billionaire tycoon. I shouldn't be hearing that type of word by the world. Needs money and different things across the land all in Muhammad. Where they getting this money from? And they could call themselves a tycoon and be the richest in the whole wide world, while everybody's screeching and scratching their behinds for a living, and helping out the least so they could get their scoop. You know what I'm saying, in the ice cream truck. You know what I'm saying? But we see the Mark Cuban has a theory on what Elon Musk, not kids behind, long-term plans are for Twitter, and they have, I guess, precious little, I mean, precarious, or whatever you want to use, I think it's whatever, little to do with protecting civil rights enshrined in the American Constitution. He isn't pushing free speech. You know what I'm saying? The Dallas Maverick owner and Shark Tank star shared on Twitter on Thursday when Elon Nutcase Musk, you know what I'm saying, goes out of his way to engage and promote the accounts and tweets of people who disagree with him, then I'll believe he is about free speech. So rely. Because I know he ain't no more than a fake and a funk and a part-time bride. You know what I'm saying? Him and creepy sweet mama. You know what I'm saying? Obama. You know what I'm saying? New York played a key role in the slave trade, but California leading on reparations. Imagine New York, demon democratical state. Oh yes, you know what I'm saying? And that's a good point that this person has brought up in more ways than one when we look at it. New York was the vital cog in the transatlantic what? Slave trade. But it's California where those pushing reparations to the descendants of enslaved people are making progress. Oh yes. But like I said, until I see it in the hands of black people, in its fullness and flowing like a river from their sinful and wicked, beastly act that they call equality on black people, and now trying to act as if like you can correct that, but you have been giving it up in no shape or form to where black people got to fight for it. That doesn't make any sense. JP Morgan freezes customers' bank accounts. Yeah, that's good for JP Morgan because I never trusted him anyway. You know what I'm saying? Court finds FBI improperly used surveillance tools on January 6th. Yeah, what I 6 again? Suspects. Racial injustice protests. You know what I'm saying? This is coming in by Eric Tucker. Tucker, I would like to spend time on that, but you know what I'm saying? We know this already. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to give it the chance. It's coming in by Eric Tucker 2 days ago in The Independent. But you see, FBI officials repeatedly violated their own standards when they searched a vast repository of foreign the FBI, to me, from what it's saying there, officials report violated their own standards, you know what I'm saying, and searched vast repositories of foreign intelligence for information relating to the January 6th, 2021 bullshitting, lying ass about some insurrection at the U.S. Capitol and racial justice protests in 2020, according to a heavily blacked out court order released Friday. The FBI official said the violations predated the series of corrective measures that started in the summer of 2021 and continued last year. But the problem could nonetheless complicate FBI and DOJ, you know what I'm saying, efforts to receive congressional, reauthorizations of all warrant surveillance program that law enforcement officials said is needed to counter terrorism, you know what I'm saying, espionage, and international cyber crimes. You want to put that bill so you can round up black people and probably put them in a FEMA camp. Full of bullshit. And the rest of the poor people, while you flood the country without taking people talking about an asylum seeker. How are you seeking asylum from a country that has so much? You know what I'm saying? Who is the one who corrupt the country to push the people that way is what we must ask. And what is the plan to that? You know what I'm saying? Because we still see some kind of replacement going on here. You know what I'm saying? But we see top Democrats towards GOP colleagues at border hearing for echoing false fear-mongering stories about migrants in New York. No, they were not fear-mongering and they're not stories. It's true. We see Alex Griffin 2 days ago coming off the media. You know what I'm saying? But we see ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, Republican, I guess his name is Jerry Nadel, you know what I'm saying? He needs to keep his butt still a Republican, and we're in New York. Pulled no punches on Tuesday in blasting some of his GOP House colleagues for fear-mongering when it came to the southern border, and politically shamed members for sharing a bomb-blasting story, you know what I'm saying, from the New York Post that has since been reenacted. Yeah, but it ain't reenacted in our mind. You know what I'm saying? Y'all corrupt and you're full of shit. A lot of y'all Republicans in the Republican Party as well. You know what I'm saying? Just like you have with the Demon Democrats, which is 10 times worse. Nadel, and he'll probably working with the Demon Democrats, but sitting on the Republican side to keep the Republicans in bad light. But we see Nadel opening his remark at the hearing titled The Biden Border Crisis, part 3, like his brain, you know what I'm saying, took aim at the House GOP narrative surrounding the border, with the New York Demon Democrats. You notice he arguing with the Demon Democrats rather than solving the problem. You know what I'm saying? Demon Democrats argue was sensationalized for political purpose. Needle then brought up the Post story about homeless veterans being displaced by immigrants in his home state and declared his GOP colleagues who shared the story, which at the time had yet been debunked or had yet to be debunked or not ones to let debunk or not ones to let facts get in the way of the good story. You know what I'm saying? We don't give a flying crap. It's probably true you probably did that. You know what I'm saying? And you're trying to cover it up. You know what I'm saying? And if it ain't true, and the story made it to the news, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to debunk a damn thing until you show us concrete proof. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, Mr. Needle, you're word playing as usual. Because you probably crooked before your boy took it. In the weeks leading up to Title 42 expiration, they stroked the fear that we would see chaos and massive numbers of immigrants crossing the border, which 4.9 million, is that a fake number? Have you proved that to us too? Yeah. And another 80,000 coming, is that true? And then you say, yet what happened, thanks to the policies but in place by the Joe Biden administration, you know what I'm saying, the numbers at the border dropped by 70% following. Dang, that's bullshit. Lying wordplay, and you're lying, Mr. Needle. Following expiration of the Title 42, Needle began referring to the Trump era policy that allowed a quicker removal. Yeah, okay, like, to me, Trump should have did a Title 42 to get Needle and many of these clock heads up out of our government. It would have helped. New York State bill requiring gender-neutral terms in law passed. That's good for them. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't understand what they're seeking in no shape or form, and I'm not going to back it in any way, because you're human, and you're alive, and you're a person, and you're here. That's the point. All that other stuff is your hang up, and I'm not going for it. The Department of Homeland Security warns of heightened threats of terror attacks. Here we go. The demon Democrat favorite word, even during the time of Bush and Tony Blair, when they knocked down the World Trade Center to prove their lying point. You know what I'm saying? But it's saying here, the Department of Homeland Security using that same heightened threat of terrorist attack, the word terror, attacks on political motivated lone offenders. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like them. You know what I'm saying? We see Schumer warns Congress could intervene if Texas judge, shopping isn't reformed. No, Schumer needs to get out of government, stay out of government, and beat it and never come back. Get some bread and water in your backpack and go up over that bridge and keep going and don't come back. Another demon Democrat that has done major harm to black communities but saying he didn't, and so on and so on. He's always out there running his mouth looking so great and so good and so thing, but I don't see a damn thing he ever did to me, and whatever policies that he's putting forward, believe me, there are other policies that he's putting forward that is going right along with the Luciferian demon Democratic plan. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Arguing COVID came from China could land you on Minnesota's government bias registry, according to new bill. Minnesota still being an idiot, huh? Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, they probably down with the garbage as well. Talking about a bias plan. You know what I'm saying? Bias how? Whenever you prove to us, where did it come from? You said a reservoir. You said a bad, you said a reservoir, you said a bad, you said a market, you said this, you said that. When are you going to prove it? Because we know for what it was natural. You know what I'm saying? But we see China is coming for our kids with these dangerous products. China is, why is China always talking about coming at America? And been probably infiltrating our country for years and 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 years, doing this garbage inside our country. What are they doing in our country at all? So who sold us out? the demon Democrats, because it sure wasn't the Republicans. U.S. cities to pay record 80 million to people injured in 2020 racial justice protests. Yeah, you need to pay up, punk. You know what I'm saying? Demon Democrats howl on House floor after Marjorie Taylor Greene tells the chamber to respect the decorum of the House. This is coming in by Michael. It looked like Luciano, you know what I'm saying? Luciano, whatever, one day ago of the media. We see Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican of Georgia, you know what I'm saying, presided over the House on Wednesday when she tried to gravel down a what? Rambunctious chamber, but promoted unbridled laughter instead. Yeah, we don't have time for your jokes, especially when we have the beast and wicked people in our government and a beast on all corners of our doors. You know what I'm saying? We don't want peace. You know what I'm saying? It will change the country. Demon Democrats, Senator warned enough GOP members want to see the U.S. default. No, we want to see the demon Democrats out of government. But the black people is still facilitating the slave master's party because he done probably greased some of them dumb idiots' pocket. You know what I'm saying? We want you out, really and truly. You've been cheating and corrupting and fouling our country with vulgarness and nastiness for too long. And then you sell us out to our own so-called enemy, as you see it. But you're no more in bed with them. They're in bed with them. But we see the NWAC, the NWA not case as NWA not case as CP. You know what I'm saying? Say Florida isn't safe for black people. That's a lie. Unfortunately, they're right. That's also wrong. You know what I'm saying? The NWACP is no more than trying to get Ron DeSantis to not run or be in favor of the political candidate for presidency. The NWACP is working right along with the demon Democrats and their bullshit. I wouldn't trust them no more or no further than I could see them. And I don't see them very often, so I don't trust them. You know what I'm saying? But the NWACP has advised, like, the NWACP don't advise nobody nothing. You don't even help black people to me. And you never have. Because if you did, like I said before, and I'll say it again, we would have already had our land and our reparations. You could keep the friggin' mule. Talking about 40 acres and a mule. You keep the mule, we'll keep the acres. You clown son of a gun. You know what I'm saying? You don't advise us to do nothing. If we want to go to Florida, we're going to Florida. We're going to chill out with Ron DeSantis and we're going to kick it with him and find out where he stands. We don't need the NWAC, black nutcase, bully, you know what I'm saying, caucus dummies in our face anymore. You are washed up as far as I have ever seen the concern. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe nothing the NWACP has to say. And I'm not reading none of it either. You know what I'm saying? Keep your story. You know what I'm saying? Good report, but keep your story. Americans more sure about who they don't support in the 2024 race than who they do. Yeah, imagine that. The results from a new survey, you know what I'm saying, indicate American voters are more set on who they don't support in the 2024 presidential race than who they do. You know what I'm saying? But we see Monmouth University poll released Thursday, you know what I'm saying, Thursday tested demon Democratic President cheating lion behind crooked sell us out to China, you know what I'm saying, against the Republican former president, against the president, because Biden ain't no president of mine or anybody really. He's destroying you, and you just got black dummies running with him. You know what I'm saying? But we see, not all, but black dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Run the radio. You know what I'm saying? Republican, President Donald J. Trump, former Vice President Mike Pence, who the hell want to vote for that clown. You know what I'm saying? You need to get rid of the hairdo and that neo-Nazi hairdo. You know what I'm saying? And Florida Ron DeSantis. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically, head to head. You know what I'm saying? Match up. Imagine that you would have creepy ass Northfield Biden lying behind, crooked jiving, pushing bullshit policies that claim to be doing something for you, and you claim you're getting something out of it except your reparations as black people, and you're supporting and facilitating the Luciferian garbage just like the rest of them. Get out of my face. Thank you. Next. We see creep Joe Biden marks anniversary of George. I don't want to hear nothing about George Floyd. I'm done with it. I don't want to hear nothing about George Floyd. We see Trump's lawyer seeks meeting with Garland as Mar-a-Lago investigation shows signs of winding down. It should have never happened. Let's get that straight.